Welcome to part 3 of this Manna You Moments series, where we're talking about the loss of inheritance in Genesis 49. Last week we talked about how Reuben, the firstborn son of Jacob, forfeited his inheritance through his lack of character and through his sin. But Reuben wasn't the only son of Jacob to miss out on the rights of the firstborn. Logically, if the firstborn son is stripped of his inheritance, we would expect that it would pass on to the next brother. Let's go back to Genesis 49 and see what happened in this case. Simeon and Levi are brothers. Weapons of violence are their swords. Let my soul come not into their counsel. O my glory, be not joined to their company. For in their anger they killed men, and in their willfulness they hamstrung oxen. Cursed be their anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. In one swoop, Simeon and Levi, who are Jacob's second and third sons, are told that they will not be the ones to receive the inheritance in place of Reuben. Back in Genesis 34, we're told how these two sons of Jacob, working together, took vengeance for the violation of their sister using deception, and in their anger, they brutally killed the Shechemites. Here, the situation might seem a little bit blurry. We might conclude that Simeon and Levi were in the right to come after the man and his people who had violated their sister. But the sins of Simeon and Levi were that they reacted with deception. They feigned agreement with the Shechemites when Hamor tried to resolve the issue peaceably. And then they angrily killed all the men of Shechem, not just the man who had sinned against their family. In this case, unlike the case of Reuben, there's evidence of an immediate reaction from Jacob. The two brothers had not considered the consequences that their actions would have for their father and for their entire family, and instead, they acted impulsively. So in Genesis 49, we see that these two brothers who sinned together were punished together. Their inheritance was to be scattered among the nation, so that the anger and violence they expressed in unity could not continue. Simeon's descendants were absorbed into Judah, and Levi's were scattered throughout the land in their priestly role. There's two applications that I want to take away from this passage. First, it's our poor character and our sin that can keep us away from our inheritance. This is the case not just with Simeon and Levi, but also with Reuben. But there's a piece of good news. There's hope for redemption, even when we sacrifice our inheritance. We see this with Levi. His anger and his deception cost him a shot at the inheritance that was forfeited by Reuben, and his tribe would be scattered throughout Israel. However, they still inherited the rights of the priesthood, and their scattering throughout the nation of Israel became a blessing rather than a curse. Join us next week as we close up our discussion on inheritance in Genesis 49 as we look at the fourth brother, who received the inheritance of the firstborn from his father Jacob.